Hello. Happy Thursday, March 12th, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. That over there is Ted Rall. You are tuned in to the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we obviously bring you too much information. We do it live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So please be sure to hit that like button, the follow, the subscribe, and share it. Share the content. We now have video shorts posted on Rumble, as well as we have a whole library of them on YouTube. Where you can take and share that on your social media, so you can help our little channel continue to grow. I know you guys, Ted, discuss all the serious stuff on Deep Program, and we do that here too. But we also like to have culture war discussions, but sometimes they're not all wars. Like today, I think we found a unifying topic, Ted, about the American shopping mall.
I think we did.
I think so. And I think that's a good thing for the economy, given all the other shit news about the economy. So I think
the economy is in trouble for sure. It needs all the help it can get. It's not looking. It's not like it's going to get better anytime soon either.
No. I don't think that's going to happen. So anyway, we have a lot of stuff to get to, trying to keep our schedule on track.
Because it's Thursday, because it's DMZ Day. So we have legendary editorial cartoonist Jeff Danziger and Vietnam vet joining us for the DMZ America podcast.
Right after this. So you guys stay tuned from TMI straight to the DMZ with Ted and Scott. And it's cartoonists be talking, man.
Yeah. Who can stop us?
You guys have things to say. All right. Robbie, do we have an ad that we have to get to off at the top? Not right now. Okay. Very good. So let's hop over to some of these stories. All right. Here's one. Another unifying topic, Ted, which is near and dear to my heart. Housing. So Republicans and Democrats in Congress are actually lining up behind legislation to encourage more affordable housing, in a rare example of bipartisan action on a quality of life issue for voters. I mean, Ted, imagine that.
How's that even possible? Like they're paying attention to, we the people.
What?
That doesn't happen. That's sort of like that would be like looking at a new high-rise building going up in a city, and it doesn't say luxury high-rise condominium.
This is exactly what I was talking about last week when I said if I were, I don't know, like a POTUS Manila or Mayor Manila of DC, when they were talking about let DC build, I would. This is something I would address. So the bill, which has drawn broad support from industry groups as well, Ted, would overhaul regulations to make it faster and cheaper. Well, that's not necessarily good, like fast and cheap.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Like, that's the detail is you're going to build shanty town. Oh, wait a minute. That's the fine print.
It's like, great.
Oh, you're going to build housing, but they're shanties. Oh.
Yeah, who doesn't need their own Quonset hut?
So they're going to strip down some of that regulation. Okay, so it's a step, Ted. It's a step. It would also modernize rules for factory-built housing. And get this one. This one's my favorite part. This bill would ban large investment groups, aka hedge funds, from buying all the single-family homes, a measure that is even backed by Donald Trump. So it's not that they're banned outright, it's that they would put a cap. They would put a cap on how many single-family residences that these hedge funds can have in their portfolio. But still, that's great. That is a step in the right direction. So at a time when Republicans and Democrats are fighting bitterly over Trump's immigration crackdown and obviously the war in Iran, lawmakers have rallied around the affordable housing effort. The latest effort, or latest version, led by Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, who also ran, or is that has ran? Also ran?
Either way.
I thought so. Okay, so he's an also ran, right, from the last 2020. Was it 2020? Yeah, he was an also ran from South Carolina. And kumbaya with Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts. The two of them put this forward. It cleared a procedural hurdle in the Senate on Tuesday night by an 89-9 vote. So that's overwhelming.
That's very bipartisan. Yeah.
That's a very
something we don't
promising.
See hardly ever anymore.
Wow, 89-9. So full passage of this thing.
That's like voting for puppies and kittens.
Yeah, like I can't believe it was 89.
There's 9 people who are still like, I prefer lemurs and ferrets, but
those 9 people are like, nah, I really want those hedge funds to buy up all the properties.
I think that's actually true. That's actually true.
Yeah, I need to see who these 9 people are, because I bet if you look them up, I bet the hedge funds probably give them a lot of money.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So the House of Representatives also passed its own version by a similar margin. And the 2 chambers will now have to resolve their differences before Trump, who has already signaled that he will sign it into law. Lawmakers are eager to show voters that they are tackling these issues ahead of the November midterms, which will determine, obviously, the control of Congress. The affordability debate has encompassed everything from the cost of eggs to childcare, but few items account for a larger share of household budgets, more than housing. Obviously, the bulk of your monthly income is going to go to keeping a roof over your head. Economists say the U.S. has a shortage of roughly 4 million homes after years of underbuilding following the 2008 financial crisis, or the real estate bust, and local zoning rules often making it more difficult to build in already developed urban areas such as Los Angeles. I know all the hurdles there. It's like they find every reason to not let you build housing, or even an in-law suite, which they now call an ADU, and they've loosened up laws on those in LA.
But most of those, they're not really being used for, dear old mother-in-law. They're being used for Airbnb.
Correct. Supply chain distributions as well added to this during COVID. That drove building material costs way up, while there was a sharp increase in interest rates because Jerome Powell sat near zero for way too long, I would say, and then slapped everybody with it's 7%, all of a sudden. So that wasn't good. I mean, you should have had a slow hike. You know what I mean? This was a major shock to the economy when you go from near zero. Borrowing money was easy and cheap and free, basically free. The banks borrowed it basically for free, and customers borrowed basically for free. And then he comes along, 3 years ago, and it's all right, 7%. Oh, okay. So home prices have risen 60%, Ted, since 2019. That's according to Harvard University.
Well, your wages have gone up 60%, right?
Of course, obviously. Especially you and me.
Like everybody's. That's like how all the minimum wage workers, they got that big 60% increase. All the people working at Amazon warehouses, they got a big 60% increase. I mean, it's great. So, we're all swimming in cash. It's
offsetting
amazing.
The housing pricing since 2019. Totally easy. That's according to Harvard, their Joint Center for Housing Studies. And the median price of a single family home in 2024 reached 5 times the median household income, well above the ratio widely considered to be affordable. Typically, it should be a 1/3 ratio, 1/3 of your income. Preferably a little less, but
I was told, when I was younger, I was told it was a quarter.
It went up. It went up to 1/3.
Yeah, and most people can't even do that. I mean, most of my life, I've spent about half my income or more on housing.
Yeah. I've
I
experienced
went
that
through
as well.
periods where it was 2/3 of my income.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've been completely, as they call it, house poor, even though you're in a little shit box apartment, downtown somewhere, but
Yeah.
you're house poor. But that's basically everybody in California. I can tell you that, especially SoCal. So this legislation would streamline federal environmental reviews for construction projects and make it easier to convert vacant buildings into apartments. Ted, this is something you've railed.
That's I have railed. I will rail again. That's what we need.
Like,
Besides which, it's part of the reuse aspect of.
yeah,
I mean, here's the thing: it's gross to see abandoned buildings. I mean, think about cities like Baltimore that are full of
yeah.
abandoned housing, and it's like, okay, so you can. Obviously, I understand why it's in many ways cheaper and easier to build a brand new building somewhere. You're not going to have to test the old walls to see, and you're not going to have to
There's
work
lead.
around what's there and like try to, you're not going to have to see, oh, could these old pipes, some of these be reused?
Right.
Is there an environmental problem? Is there a toxin
Right.
in the this used to be a light industrial area, maybe there's gasoline that dripped down. I remember years ago I was walking in the West Village back before the West Village was like really expensive in New York, and there was an abandoned fire department firehouse, and I thought, oh, that'd be cool. I could slide down the pole every morning to my car, and like
how the Ghostbusters lived.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so
Cool.
and then so I got in touch with the dude, and the good news was he only wanted $150,000 for it, which at the time was still really cheap. However, then I did some research, and the environmental mitigation was going to cost between $2 to $4 million because fire trucks have been parked in there for years,
right,
and all the oil drips down into the ground soil, and so basically you have to dig that shit up. So the point,
but they're going to soften, they're going to weaken the environmental stuff.
I understand all those issues. I do, and but the fact is, if at all possible, I would rather rehab a building that's already taking up space in a city.
That's right.
Than to
start
build
from
a
scratch.
new thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like demo the whole entire thing. I mean, we're not even talking down to the studs. We're talking full demo, nothing standing, like war zone level, like Gaza type of demo.
Yeah. Bring in the IDF. Yeah.
Yeah, they should become like, when they get rebranded, that's what they should do. They should become like a demo company.
Yeah, like it'll be like Civilization, like it never even happened.
Who needs it? Mm-hmm. So this bill would also expand financing for affordable housing and increase loan limits for federally backed mortgage insurance programs for multifamily homes. So like a condo or like duplexes. I don't know. Well, row houses. I don't know if they count. Do they count them as single family? Ted, in New York?
It depends. For the most, first of all,
brownstone?
They're called brownstones here. They're not called or townhouses. They're not called row houses. Most, probably 95% or more of them are multi. There's a different unit on every floor. Almost all of them. There are some that are single family. Like
I thought they were like
Epstein
vertical.
had one that was it was a single family dwelling, just for him and Ghislaine, right? So
yes, only them. Yes,
but people like that, they have a super rich people have their own brownstone. But they're mostly multifamily dwellings. They're usually.
I didn't know how they were registered in New York.
It depends. Some of them are rentals, but most of them are condos or co-ops. They're condos.
Yeah. Like out here, they're considered part of a multifamily residence, not a single family. Where single family, you literally cannot have shared walls, like at all. Your walls cannot touch.
Hey, we have an ad, says Robbie.
Oh, okay. Let me just finish reading the details, and then we'll get to the ad real quick. So the National Association of Realtors, which I used to belong, and other civic groups like the National League of Cities also support the bill. Companies that own more than 350 single-family homes would be prohibited from buying any more. So that's the cap, to prevent them from obviously cash bidding and outbidding real families from buying properties. So yay! That's fantastic. Even the bill's champions say it won't fix the problem. Elizabeth Warren says but it takes a good first step to rein in corporate landlords, while Norbert Michel of the Libertarian Cato Institute said it mainly tweaks existing policy in an attempt to show voters that lawmakers are taking action. It's a political ploy to say that they are doing something about housing. He said, that's so negative, Nancy. It's a good step. I'm actually with Liz Warren on this. It is a good positive step. So, all right, Robbie, go ahead and throw that ad up there. Ted and I we totally agree on this. Although Robbie brings up a valid point, places like Baltimore, it is a war zone. How do you handle the violence, the gangs, the drugs? That's true, but
Robbie has that solution. Robbie's aware of that's called the Second Amendment. Like if you, like seriously, if I was 30 years old,
gang members really observe the Second Amendment.
Yes, that's true. If I was 30 years old and broke, and like I was told, like, oh, for $1,000 you can have your own townhouse in Baltimore, but the bad news is it'd be drug infested. I'd go in there with my AK-47 and my best violent friends, and we just be like, we be living here. Don't you be coming here. We have big mean dogs and big guns, and we'll fuck you up. And I think you would just end up with, with a lot of
while.
Yeah, I think it would clean it up.
Yeah, after a little while, you just got to brandish. I mean, we did that when we first moved into our house, so we made it clear.
Way to make, yeah. Like,
we made it clear.
We want to get along. Feel free to come over and borrow.
We come in peace.
You can borrow a cup of sugar if you need it. But I swear to God, if you fuck with us, we will kill you. Yeah,
that's right. We made it very clear when we first, because we didn't know this neighborhood, and it wasn't quite as gentrified as it is now. But we made it very clear to the neighbors that we mean no harm. But if you mean harm, both the husband and wife are psycho here. We will harm you.
We will mean harm. We don't want to
let's get to that.
Yeah.
All right. So today's sponsor is Chicago Steak Company, and they're giving away 4 free steaks for every order. The code there is BPSIR free. BP, sir, free. Do you ever buy steaks at the grocery store and it's just a total gamble? Mm-hmm. You're standing there staring at this shrink-wrapped mystery cut, trying to figure out which one might actually be decent. And half the time you get home, you cook it. It's all right. Nothing special. Chicago Steak Company is the opposite of that. USDA prime and upper choice, hand-selected by butchers in Chicago. Wet-aged 28 to 40 days. Then it's vacuum sealed and shipped on dry ice right to your door. Every cut is actually hand carved. There's no guessing there. And here's the part that we really like. You spend $199 or more, any steaks, because you pick them. Then you use that code BP Serve Free. And then they'll throw in 4 bourbon peppercorn sirloins for free. Plus you get free shipping. These are 6-ounce top sirloin with a cracked peppercorn and bourbon rub. Lean, beefy, bold flavor. Throw them on that hot grill, because now the weather's changing. And they're done in just a couple of minutes. $160 in free steaks. 15,000 5-star reviews. These guys are the real deal. mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Use that code BPSIR free. BPSIR free. The link is right there in the show description. So click on it if you're a beef lover like us. But so yeah, that's yummy. So yeah, Ted, you just brandish a little bit.
I will say, that the prohibition, the attempted prohibition in this legislation on letting hedge funds scoop up houses, I don't see how that's going to withstand constitutional Supreme Court scrutiny. This is
because you think that the hedge funds will certainly sue,
wouldn't you? I mean, this is their profit model. So, they've invested literally billions of dollars in this line of industry. So they're going to sue. And the thing is, it's hard for me to imagine any scenario in which they don't prevail, because, their money is as good as anyone else's. You're discriminating
No, I hear
against
you.
them. Literally, corporations are people. They have the right to buy things the way that you and
That's
I
right.
do. That I think legally, there's not a leg to stand on here. I would say that like the workaround here is going to be at the local level, which
I
is
was just going to say that.
to impose like additional regulations that are targeted in such a way that to become onerous for these hedge funds.
Like you can incorporate all these abandoned homes into like an HOA or turn them into co-ops or some other shit. Just add some other language in there. Then you're the boss.
Yeah, I don't see a solution. A federal housing solution is going to have to involve state and local partnerships in a big way. I just don't see how the feds can do this just because of the way things are configured in this country.
But it'll help, I would say, on the federal level that they would weaken some of the environmental stuff, just like you're talking about. Like take everybody knows Ghostbusters.
I mean, it was stupid. Like, honestly, okay, like,
much.
So, like, it's a little much, right? Like, I'm a huge environmentalist, but let's get real. A firehouse. Okay, so what's happened over the years? Okay, it's motor oil. Got into
yes.
So
there's a lot of those in downtown LA. I was dying.
And it's New York fucking City, which is full of skank in its ground anyway.
Right, anyway.
It's disgusting anyway.
Same thing with downtown LA.
Who gives a shit?
Was dying.
It's not Yellowstone National Park, right?
I was like drooling over old like oil change facilities in downtown LA. Because those, I mean, I didn't have much money to buy anything in the 2010, when the economy tanked. I came back from Dubai and I had a very small amount that I wished I could have put towards a property. I couldn't afford anything, but what I could have afforded was like some little shithole standalone, grease monkey shop in downtown LA that I could have easily converted into like a cool ass loft.
Right.
Like amazing cool ass loft. You would, it's already got this like stained concrete floor that there are ways to scrub it clean, and then you put the epoxy over it, right? And it would be sealed
exactly. You just seal it in. That's the way. I agree.
And that was within my budget, but there was I explored the option, but due to the environmental policies, federal policies, that place would have to either, before it can be occupied as a residence and change its zoning for it, it would have had to have been either like decontaminated by whatever means, right? 1, 2, sat empty for like 10 years or something like that before it can be given residential zoning, or 3, just taken over by another similar type of business. So it's just, it'll sit fucking empty.
Yeah. It's dumb.
Waste. It's a waste. Like, you don't think I'm breathing in car smog just living in downtown LA? Like,
no, exactly. It's just like, it's just going too far.
It's a little too much. So I'm happy I generally would not support weakening EPA laws or other environmental.
Not to mention, if you build a new house instead of rehabbing an old firehouse, let's say, there's a huge environmental footprint in the manufacture of all those goods and the construction. Right. And we're just ignoring that like it's not real, but it is.
I agree. Right. So there's give and take on both sides, no matter what you do with that property. So I'm a proponent of this. Generally, I usually agree with libertarian positions on things, but I don't agree on this one. I think they're poo-pooing something that it's like you're stepping over the dollar to pick up the dime. And that's what they're doing here. So I say good on Liz Warren and Tim Scott.
Yeah, I don't know how effective it's going to be, but I'm glad that they're trying. And look, it's a major fucking problem. Now, there are, I think, other ways that you could control housing prices and stop them from being put completely out of reach of young Americans, right? I mean, for example, the U.S. The tax code deeply subsidizes home ownership, but not renters. So. And that's part of the reason that home prices keep going up. You could get rid of the home of all these deductions and tax breaks that people get for owning homes, and that would have a de-inflationary effect on housing prices. But I think the absolute best thing we can do is rehab old buildings
I agree.
and create, and of course, obviously new construction, because we do well. Until recently, we were a rapidly growing country. I think that's not going to be true anymore. I think we're kind of like leveling off now, and except for Elon Musk, nobody's having kids. He can't do it all himself.
Him and Nick Cannon carrying on American civilization. Just those two guys.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on to the next topic. But
balls
this is good.
Deep for you and me. Okay.
They're doing it for us, Ted. Doing it for the American people.
They don't enjoy it. It's not for fun.
American... No. All right, let's move on.
For years, people said that the American mall was dying. Online shopping, fast delivery, and endless digital storefronts were replacing it. But something interesting is happening. Gen Z is bringing back the mall. Across the country, young shoppers are rediscovering the experience of shopping in person, IRL, wandering stores. Like, hey, there's the Orange Julius.
Yes, it's my favorite.
Going down to Strawberries to try on clothes, meeting friends at the video arcade, and turning mall trips into social events. In fact, new data shows that Gen Z's retail spending is growing faster than any other generation. I love Gen Z. And their global spending is expected to surpass $12 trillion by the end of the decade. Even though Gen Z grew up with smartphones and online shopping, obviously, they're actually spending more of their discretionary money in physical stores than us old fuckers. Last year, shoppers between 18 and 24 made about 62% of their general merchandise purchases IRL, compared to 52% for us old bastards. Shopping in person offers experiences that the internet just can't replicate. You try on the clothes, you feel the fabric. I feel that way. I have to feel the fabric. Hanging out with friends, grabbing drinks or food after browsing stores. For a generation who spent key teen years under pandemic lockdown, it's like a huge new social space. But of course, malls aren't really quite the same either. Young shoppers often first find their outfits on TikTok, Pinterest, or whatever, Insta. Then they go to the store to see if it looks actually good on them. So the fitting room is obviously an important factor here. Some malls are redesigning their spaces to be photogenic environments built for people to like take selfies and stuff. And brands that started online are now opening physical stores in malls, hoping to turn digital buzz into real world shopping. Some stores even have influencer events. They hand out freebies and design spaces that are meant to be filmed and shared online. That's smart. This is very complicated. So for Gen Z, it's part shopping trip, part social hangout, part content creation studio. So the thing is, Manila, I wonder though, there are so many dead malls that there's even like a dead malls website.
Well, you and I had talked about converting those into like homes.
Yeah. But there's a lot of those empty spaces, and obviously they've now been rotting for decades. I don't know if those spaces can be rehabilitated. If this is, basically it's sort of like bookstores. Like there are not really more bookstores than there used to be in any meaningful way. But the bleed has stopped, and basically we've leveled off, and we're not seeing like sort of a net number of closures. I wonder if this is like that, where you're just going to sort of save the malls that survived, but the ones that are like all boarded up now, like not so much.
I know there's one, like the mall that we're looking at here is somebody's like walkabout tour of the Brea Mall. That's North Orange County in California. I lived literally like a block away from here at one point in my early 20s. So this is apparently the mall still, this is from like a year ago. So apparently the mall is still a thing. The Brea Mall. I used to go there. I mean, I lived a block away. So Claire's, like the Candy Factory, I think, whatever it's called. Like I'm like nostalgic looking at this and going, wow, it's still pretty vibrant. And I guess who'd have thunk it's because of Gen Z keeping this afloat. And this is not a thing to me. It's not about like, oh, let's keep these big corporations in business or screw the mom and pops or whatever. It's not about that. Although local malls do are good places for a small mom and pop setup, or
there's a lot of them, and there's the micro ones. You know how there's the people who have the
little
jewelry
pop-up shops,
or they have the jewelry cart in the middle of the aisle of the
Yes.
mall. Yeah.
Yes, like this is a great place for a little mom and pop.
California is more
business.
But my favorite malls are the I will say, like in warm weather. I don't know if Arizona has these also, but like in California, even up in Palo Alto, where they have these open malls where you're indoor,
like
outdoor.
The Grove. Oh, I've got those too. Those are made for Gen Z.
And I love those because you're like you don't have that stuffy like recirculated air feeling.
Mall.
I'm an asthmatic, so any place that's like recirculated air is gross to me with no windows. But
what we're looking at here that's the traditional mall, and I think that's what we think of.
Nordstrom.
Had the Gen Xers. I lived on that side, on the Nordstrom end of the mall. That was like the big anchor store. And
See's Candies, although that's a California thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See's Candy, if you guys don't know, best
chocolates.
Candy maker. Best. Yeah, it's a chocolate factory, basically.
Aren't they? They're originally from San Francisco, I believe, right?
I think so. But they kick Ghirardelli's ass. Ghirardelli sucks. See's is amazing. But it's just a California thing, and they have a couple of like little chocolate stand-up shops at certain airports, I think, and that's it. It's like an In-N-Out burger type thing where you can only really get it in California. So let me remove this one. I'll show you the other shop the other mall, for example, that Ted was talking about, like the Grove in West LA, or
the Grove is a little sad because
Americana at Brand.
The Grove used to be the farmers market.
There's still a portion of it. It's still there.
Yeah. But so they did fortunately not destroy it, but
they did not.
It's not quite the same as it used to be. It was much more charming and old school. But it's LA. You can't expect LA to remain frozen in place. It's not that kind of city.
No. It's not. That's the Grove right there. I used to work there when they first opened this place. I was a waitress at a restaurant there. But it's a beautiful place. I mean, look at it. It's a big outdoor shopping. This is kind of what cyber trucks. This is kind of what you need to make malls look like, basically, even if it's indoor. In order to make it like a selfie, like a social media friendly, I guess is the best way to say it. That's how you make the malls survive. Like if you go to Las Vegas, Ted, you put a roof over this thing that we're looking at on the screen. Put a roof over it, and it's Las Vegas. It is a Vegas casino connecting from one casino to the next with the fake skies and like gondoliers going by. Like that's what you need if you want to make the mall a thing again. It has to look something like this. This is what the consumer has moved to wanting, because it is something you would tweet, it's something you would Instagram, it's something you would TikTok. And if Gen Z is the generation, obviously they're native to social media. That's what they're demanding, and they're going to be the ones spending money. And this is what they want to see, along with the social experience of hanging out with your friends or scoping out the cute boy, right? Like it's a great combination for them, but you need to provide the environment that's going to make them feel like, oh, this is going to make for a great picture, right?
Yeah.
And they get to look at the skirts walking by.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? They might actually start picking each other up like old school.
I know. They might actually start having children, Ted. Not only Elon.
Sex.
They might have real sex.
Because millennials, or is it, Gen Zs, they don't have sex anymore.
The old Gen Zs don't. Yeah. The younger ones might be changing that, though. The Gen Zs go like cusp going into alphas. They might be the ones.
It's so ironic too, because it's literally like never been safer to have sex. Right? Like, I mean, seriously, like AIDS is no longer an issue.
Wow.
Because of PrEP. There's like, people should just be boning. But there's no major disease there's nothing that will kill you. There's some things that will get you, and you can just like
precautions.
There's so many things you can take.
Right.
And most things that you would actually get, you just, a week later after antibiotics, it's gone.
Yeah,
So
there's meds for
it's
all
not
of
like
it.
the
I
80s.
guess you're right. Yeah. So the thing here is like, I think that's how a lot of people in our generation got laid, Ted. You can meet a boy or girl at the mall. Like that's, I mean, it's true. You get
that
phone
wasn't
numbers at the
me,
mall.
but
No,
yeah.
it wasn't Ted.
Unfortunately.
At least, I mean, in our generation, the Xers, that's where you hung out, was the mall. So at the very least, you learn how to be social and you learn how to talk to other people in real life, IRL, not texting at them, not whatever. So I think the mall represents so much more than a place to spend money. It's so much more
it's the town square in suburbia, right? And
yes.
in urbia in many cases.
I think this is great. Like the Grove it's not in suburbia. It's smack center West LA, like just in the middle of everything.
Yeah, it's West Hollywood, right? So
yeah, it's a border of like where West LA would meet West Hollywood. So the Grove, what street is it?
It's off Fairfax.
It's off Fairfax.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big plot of land.
Beverly,
too.
Maybe or Third. I think it's Third and Beverly. I mean Third and Fairfax.
I don't remember Fairfax for sure. It's not too far from.
It's near the CBS Broadcast Center.
Yes, it's right next door.
By the way, it's also very close to the incident that precipitated my whole case against the LA Times.
Really?
Yeah, that happened on Spalding and was it Beverly? No, Melrose.
Oh, Melrose.
So a little bit like, quarter of a mile walk, maybe.
Melrose is more of my shopping place as I got older. That was more my style.
Melrose is cooler. Yeah.
Because it was a little more punk rock, right? And like people are smoking cigarettes and like.
Yeah, that'd be where more of my scene as well. Yeah.
Believe it or not, Dr. Reese used to live right there.
Dr. Reese lived there? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But after I had my son,
he wasn't shopping. He wasn't shopping locally. I could tell. At least he didn't keep those clothes.
Dr. Reese lived right off of Melrose.
He's Patagonia man now, all the way.
I was like, "You live off Melrose?" I was like with the punk rockers, like.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Was he different back
then? I mean, this is only like 7 years ago when my son was born. He was like hanging out with my son before he went up north to go live with the trees.
Wow.
So we went to like an organic falafel place, of course. Because what else? Yeah. We went to an organic falafel place.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Where on Melrose. But I love Melrose, and I was like, really? You live off of Melrose? Like, huh.
Yeah, that is droll.
Wouldn't have guessed. Not Dr. Reese, but then obviously he went to go be with nature, way up north, living with the trees. That makes a lot more sense. So there you go. All right. So yay, go back to the mall, do the hookups, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Go to the mall.
Pinball machine.
Go hang out. Go meet people. Go talk to people. And I do think, Ted, it's because they were young, small, like kids and teenagers during COVID. I think that's what did it. And now they're like, wow, there's a place that people go to and you can see.
But it's not. That's definitely it's a contributing factor. I think there's also, I don't know if you've seen this video I'll find it and send it to you, but basically it's sort of like, it's like kids in the 1970s, all dressed in 70s clothes, there's 70s furniture all around. And they're like, wait, in the future, people are just going to look at their phones and not talk to each other? Wait, in the future, people are just they're going to take pictures of their dinners instead of eating them, and it's all this like in the future, people aren't going to be able to. Kids won't stay out until the lights go off outside, and it's like, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we've given our kids a terrible fucking, alienating dystopian bullshit life for sure.
I'm so happy to see the youngest of the Z's and the Alphas hitting the mall. Like, God bless. Man. Hit the
Ironically,
mall.
it's so
and
ironic.
Get that
though.
phone number.
It's so ironic because what used to be considered degenerate is now considered wholesome. Like it used to when I in the 1970s, it was like if you told your mom like, oh, I'm going down to the what are you doing? I'm just going to the mall, walk
Just go to the
around.
mall.
She'd be like, oh, she'd have like these dark thoughts that you were going to be human trafficked and like doing drugs in the back of or
like
getting
smoking in the alley.
shoplifting and shit. It's like now it's totally like, oh, it's so sweet, but
go to the mall. Yay! I was at the mall in the 90s.
Like that. Like now, like if my kid is like, oh, I was watching TV. It's like, oh, thank God you're watching TV instead of just like looking at Instagram. TV's so rich culturally. It's it's so funny.
Forward to dropping my son off, in a few years, like doing the same thing that when I was so ashamed, like, Dad, can you take us to the mall? Please, 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 please. Okay. No, but you got to stop like a block away. Oh my God, Dad. Don't drop me off at the mall. Like, a block away.
Dude, my friends could see me.
My God, they're going to see that you're dropping us off at the mall.
Don't you understand?
Drop us off like way at the end of the parking lot. I'm looking forward to that. Like I think that's great. I think that's great for humanity. I think that's great for culture because that's how you learn to talk to people and get along and work it out in a human way, not through a fucking device. So bravo to the mall. Good on Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Go, go, go. All right, here's a little bit of a history lesson. I don't know how much comment we're going to have on this, but I thought this was cool. Robbie might fight us because of the timeline, Ted. Ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Life as we know it today is less the result of a steady evolutionary flow than a series of cataclysmic fits and starts. To date, the Earth has experienced 5 mass extinctions, a variety of ice ages, and other climatic changes that have had huge impacts on plant and animal life, often wiping the terrestrial slate clean. However, a few incredible survivors live among us, including, drumroll,
the Magnolias.
Who knew? Named for the 17th century French botanist Pierre Magnol. Magnol. Pierre Magnol.
It's Magnol. Yeah.
Magnol. Mm-hmm. The history of these trees far surpasses this
ancien regime.
French. Oh my God, the French. In fact, it's estimated that magnolias first sprouted on Earth 95 million years ago, smack dab in the middle of the Cretaceous period. That's about 27 million
years.
Not
to be confused with our political climb, which are called which is the Cretaceous period.
Yes, the Cretan period. So that's 27 million years before T-Rex roamed the Earth. And that's where Robbie will fight us on this. Back here in the Holocene, I didn't know that's what we were called right now. The current geological epoch, Holocene. The Magnolia family's native ranges can be found in East and Southeast Asia and the southern U.S., as well as Mexico, northern South America, it's confusing, and the Caribbean. Although a modern favorite among plant lovers, magnolias still sport evidence of their ancient upbringing. Because they are so old, they evolved to be pollinated by beetles and flies instead of bees or butterflies or moths. That's because back in the Cretaceous, those other pollinators didn't exist. I didn't know that, Ted.
Isn't that cool?
That's so weird. Like they take beetles and flies. Like,
there's a lot more beetles than people think. And obviously there's a lot of, you think of house flies, but there are many varieties of flies.
That's true.
And you see, often you will see flies that are like, that dude looks weird or different, from other flies. And some, I guarantee you, I've said this before, you are probably not even classified like flies that you've seen. that like are just because there's so many insects.
I've seen some pretty gross ones out here that I've never seen in California. So out here, I was, what is that? Why is it so big?
By the way, oh my God, you live in the damselfly area. Have you ever seen one of these things? Oh my God.
I don't know.
So there's I'll send you a picture later. Oh, there's some crazy fucking flies.
I don't know. I've seen some weird ass bugs out here that I've never encountered in my life. Like I spent the first 30 years of my life in California. So things I'd never seen. But magnolias, they say, have tough carpels. That's the female parts of the flower. Heyo, to protect themselves from a beetle's less than graceful mandibles, Ted. Oh, she's a tough one. Ooh. And invest more energy in producing showy, nectar-filled, sweet-smelling flowers in an effort to attract these insects. Oh, she's a hard-to-get slut, that magnolia.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful magnolia tree and the flightless beetle may seem like an odd couple, but it's a relationship that has worked since the Mesozoic period. I never knew that about, like, who would have thunk?
I knew that they were
idea.
They were super old. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain species like that. Like, I think it's the ginkgo tree that's also super old too.
Wow. I don't know. I guess if you really think about it, you're like, wow, some of the plants that live with us today have actually been around before dinosaurs. Like that.
Well, the ginkgo,
amazing.
The ginkgo biloba, which you see.
Biloba.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I drink ginkgo and take ginkgo.
So listen to this, Manila. That one goes back 200 to 270 million years, right?
Wow.
So
I mean, it's an ancient root in Chinese medicine. We use it.
It's very, very friggin' old,
wow.
Right? So that's older. That's much older than the magnolia, and it lived alongside dinosaurs, and they live a long time. They can live. An individual specimen can live over 3,000 years. In fact, they're so hardy that they were the only trees that survived the Hiroshima explosion.
No shit. See what weird stuff you learn? Like we're learning about botany right now, the history of botany. Like that's amazing.
They're tough fuckers.
And you know what ginkgo is supposed to do? Ginkgo, I mean, has for thousands of years been used in Chinese medicine, and it's meant for like memory. It helps your brain.
Maybe because they're so old.
Because they're old. So there might be something to that. All right. Last story before you got to head over to DMZ.
For a lot of older Americans, loneliness is becoming a serious problem. For nearly 1 out of 3 adults between the ages of 50 and 80 say they feel lonely. Remember Kim Jong-un in Team America World Police? I'm so lonely.
Oh, wait, Ted, before we go, before you get into the old people, I got to shout out to Daddy of Triplets. Thank you for the donation, Daddy of Triplets. Daddy says, the trips are teens. Oh, triplet teens. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Oh my God. And spend most of their time outside along with many of their friends, and the neighborhood pages complain about them being kids on their bikes, skateboards, and jumping fences.
Good for them.
No, good for those kids.
Don't change a thing. Tell those adults to fuck off.
Yes, okay. Seriously.
You're
doing
Ted
good, Daddy of Triplets.
Them to fuck off.
That's excellent. If you have triplet kids that are not trapped in their house right now playing video games, and they're skateboarding and doing like
physically active
analog.
That's another weird thing. Like that skateboarding somehow has been criminalized in many jurisdictions. Yes. It's skateboarding. Like there's it's not criminal behavior. Okay.
No, you're doing good, Daddy of Triplets.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Fucking stupid. Anyway, so now some seniors in New York City are trying an unusual solution. They're inviting robots into their homes. A program run by the New York State Office for the Aging has begun giving elderly patients an AI-powered companion robot called LEQ. Hello, I am LEQ, a tabletop device designed to talk, interact, and help keep people engaged throughout the day. The robot greets users in the morning, Good morning, Manila. Sorry you have to put up with Ted this morning. Asks how they slept, and carry on a simple conversations like, we are at war again. It can also play music,
so weird.
Read audio books, run games, lead exercise routines, and even take users on virtual trips to places like museums or famous landmarks, all from the living room. And unlike many digital assistants, this one is designed to be proactive. LQ remembers details from previous conversations and checks in throughout the day, asking about someone's health. Are you still feeling old and cranky? Reminding them to drink water or suggesting activities. Do not forget to drink your beer, Ted. For seniors who live alone, that interaction can make a big difference. More than 900 older New Yorkers have already received the robot and received the robot. And like, hello. And program leaders say the results have been dramatic. Participants reported a 94% reduction in loneliness. 9 out of 10 said that the device improved their daily lives, so it obviously works. The robot also acts as a kind of wellness assistant. It can remind users to take your medication, track health goals, and allow family members or caregivers to send messages, photos, or video calls through a companion app. Your daughter says she loves you. Supporters say the goal isn't to replace human relationships, it's to help older adults stay independent while still feeling connected to the world. Because for many seniors living alone, the quiet can be overwhelming. So the robot can help. There's the theme here in today's show, Manila, is connection. People,
not
Americans,
connectivity.
Not connectivity, connection. People are, so I don't know if you heard about this. In Brookline, Massachusetts, there is a free phone booth on the street. And it says,
I've heard of this.
Call a boomer. And it goes to some senior center where if old people feel like talk, but the interesting part is it's not young people checking in on boomers. It's young people needing advice from wiser older people and finding connection that way. There's also all sorts of there's also like new programs that are emerging where they're training older people to basically mentor younger people and basically sort of like, listen, I'm fucking 80 years old. Yeah, you'll wash that girl right out of your hair. Don't worry, it'll be fine, or whatever.
I love that.
So it's like a lot of intergenerational shit, and which is great coming after the toxin that is the millennial generation, who have basically been like the most ageist motherfuckers in the world.
Like, thanks, Mark Zuckerberg, asshole.
Yeah, no, and like the pre-Elon Twitter that had 0 employees under the age of over the age of 35.
That's
out of
crazy.
7,000 employees, right? They should have been fought. They should have been dragged through fucking so many EEOC proceedings.
That was Jack Dorsey, and Jack Dorsey's like older than me. I think he's like
he's
an Xer. He's like 47 or 48. He's an Xer.
He's a dick, is what he is.
But yeah, that is, but still, he's, like me, he's one of those cusp Xers where we're technically part of Gen X, but we grew up with the millennials, so we shaped the millennial culture. And I get that. And so people like Jack Dorsey and Mark Zuckerberg, who's like full on, because Zuck is like 40, so he's like full on older millennial. They were the ones that fucked up the generation, right? With their so-called innovation, that social media turned out to not be social. It proved to be antisocial, to the point that people aren't procreating anymore because no one knows how to talk to each other. So I love hearing these stories of like human connection, and people learn, like, you're just kinder. Because let's be real, you're a keyboard warrior, right? You're a tough guy when you're at your fucking keyboard, but in person you would never talk to people that way. You would never. Right. And I think that part has been lost, either from not going to the mall and hanging out, or also not being able to connect intergenerationally, like you just pointed out with the old people phone call, like the bat phone to the old people. I love that. So that helps for both sides, right? The young kids that need like an anonymous teen to anonymous old person. The old person needs that too, because a lot of them, are like very empty nesters, grandkids are 5 states away or whatever, right? Like, it's useful to everybody. So I wish robots weren't the answer. I feel like phone the old folks should be a thing.
Well, I mean, the thing is, look, I remember being a kid, and like I've all throughout my entire life, including now even. Look, I'm friends with people who are significantly older than me.
Me too.
And even though I'm 62, and I have always, since I was a kid, I can't even imagine life without those people in my life. I mean, they're essential.
I agree. They're worth more than what we give them credit for. I love old folks a lot. They still have a lot to contribute. So we'll leave that there. Go Gen Alpha and young Gen Z, and go old folks, old fogies. We love you. So,
we do.
Happy Thursday. Stay tuned. We're doing the raid into DMZ with Ted and Scott Stantis. So stay tuned. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thanks. Bye, Manila.
Good show. Bye.
Bye.